I was really surprised. I consider myself pretty well educated on the medical issues that folks with Down syndrome have to deal with, and as a parent, Sarah has we've worked through several of them. Sarah was born with congenital heart defects and had heart surgery before she was 7 weeks old, and so I was really surprised. Had never heard of keratoconus, and someone in Dr. Rajpal's office, the See Clearly practice, had happened to have a brochure that talked about Down syndrome and keratoconus, and that was really the first time that I had any awareness that there was any link between Down syndrome and keratoconus. So our participation today in World Keratoconus Day is simply to raise awareness for the links between Down syndrome and keratoconus. It was something that when I found out Sarah was diagnosed, I went back to my office and called two of my friends who have children with Down syndrome who are several years younger, and I warned them and told them about, I said, keratoconus, write it down, here's how to spell it. It is something that I have never heard of, but it does affect our children more than it does the general population, and so make sure your children have ophthalmologists. Make sure that when they are in their mid-teens that your doctor is looking for this condition. I think for children, and specifically children with Down syndrome, Sarah never told us. We never knew that she was experiencing any decline in her vision. And so it was quite a surprise to, when we went for her visit and learned that she did have keratoconus. And I think, one of the things that I have come to learn about Down syndrome and keratoconus is how often it goes undiagnosed to the point until there's actually significant loss of vision. And I think in part because of, folks with intellectual disabilities may not realize the decline of vision, may not be able to communicate to their caregivers that they are experiencing deteriorated vision. And so I think in particular with the population with Down syndrome and children, that we have to, as caregivers and parents, we need to be proactive, and we need to bring it to the attention of the doctors and ask them, make sure that we are getting our children to clinicians and ophthalmologists, and then asking them to specifically look for the condition.